You're watching them. It was a moment that these Leicester fans have wanted for a while now. Fantastic home victory today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first of all, the performance from Leicester I thought was really good, really solid performance. You know, they played with confidence. They managed the game well. You know, they defended well for the most part, the goal aside. And that's exactly what everybody just wanted to say, and include the players and the manager. And that there was no nervousness today. The goals, fantastic finishes for 2 out of the 3 goals. Obviously, the third one, there's no way Jamie Vardy's missing that from 6 yards out with no keeper in net. So yeah, a really good, solid performance, and they deserved it. Dan, you know, they were the better team again, and this time they got exactly what they deserved, and that was 3 goals and 3 points.
Yeah, and how good are these celebrations? The players themselves look absolutely delighted, don't they?
Sorry, yeah, of course, there's a lot of fans staying behind there to congratulate and enjoy these things with the players, and all the players, man, have gone down to the Kop, end of the pitch at the minute, and rightly so. You know, I thought the fans were excellent today. You know, there was no murmuring, there was no booing, and that's basically, that was down to the players. They put in a shift today, and the fans give the players what they deserve and what they deserve now. And so, to a man, all the players are going to that Kop and say they're walking across to the corner flag now on this right hand side as we look at it. And I'd say 2/3 of that Kop are still there clapping the players round.
And that's something, Jerry, as well, that maybe we haven't seen so much this season. So I think that the players are really making an effort there to go over and thank that crowd.
Yeah, because, you know, you need the fans, whether it's home or away, but, you know, obviously especially them, because the majority of them are your fans. And, you know, it's important that, you know, you get them on side, and the easiest way to get them on side is putting in a good performance, putting in a hungry performance, and that's exactly what you've seen today. This was a no-nonsense, front foot performance from Leicester. Good tempo in the build-up for a lot of it. They took the sting out of the game when they needed to, when they got their noses in front, and they managed the game, and then even scored a third at the end. Just a textbook performance, a textbook Enzo Maresca style of game, where they get exactly what they deserve. They get the 3 points with 3 goals, and Norwich caused very, very few problems indeed at the other end of the pitch. So, you know, a perfect day.
Yeah, perfect day for those Leicester City fans. And Jamie Vardy on the score sheet as well. Matty Fry and Matt Elliott are in the studio with me, Dan Bates there, after a brilliant 3-1 win, and capped off by Vardy. We spoke about him, didn't we, pre-match, about how frustrated he would have been against Bristol City a week ago. But back on the score sheet, Leicester back with 3 points.
We said about character and mentality at the start of the show, what was needed, going a goal behind, and then the response was fantastic. Then, like you say, capped off at the end by Jamie Vardy, missing a couple of chances against Bristol, and then thoroughly deserved. Second, I think there was once Norwich attacked in the second half, a team in the last position in the playoffs, and Leicester dominated. Really classy second goal, and it was a perfect way to finish it with Jamie Vardy coming on and sealing the victory. But thought it was really well deserved and a great response.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the stats there that were popping up, and Leicester 3 times exactly as many shots as Norwich, 3 times as many shots on target, and 3 times as many goals. Pretty much covers it. Jerry's mentioned it, Matty, quickly there, that Leicester, we are well deserved. A resounding victory in the end, without being at their absolute best. But that was very unlikely to be the case today, wasn't it, after recent times? And to receive that setback, you know, before the game, I didn't question, but I was emphasising the character of the team that is required and necessary for this final stage, especially the way the games have gone of late. And, you know, everyone knows the situation. Today you saw a team that's got a bit about them, not just ability-wise, mentality-wise as well. Big celebrations, yeah, that's quite a regular thing, but, you know, you saw the boys on the bench there, and Mavadidi, up on the touchline, like it was a playoff winning final. That would give them a huge boost. Huge boost. It's not to say the job's done or they're totally back on track, but it's certainly given them something to sort of steady themselves down and reset a little bit and go, right, boys, come on in. We're back in business here. We're back in business. That was some sort of performance that. Norwich, disappointing, I thought, after taking the lead. But regardless of that, Leicester, pretty impressive today. Jerry mentioned it. Somewhere near to how they were earlier in the season. And if they can get anywhere near that, I think that will be enough to get them over the line eventually. But still a long way to go. But very encouraging today.
Yeah, as Matt was saying, I'm a little bit surprised on Norwich after taking the lead. They seemed to sit off, and massive credit to the Leicester players and the fans getting behind, obviously getting back into the game. But Norwich didn't really offer too much, but you had to break them down. And the second goal was such a good goal in terms of the press, worked it from one side of the pitch to the other, and it was exquisite little bit of skill by Mavididi to get him in that position to start with, and what a sublime finish to then open it up. And then it was all Leicester again, just sustaining possession, and Norwich didn't really come out even once they went a goal behind. They seemed to sat in. I think there was only Stacey who had that one little opening from a counter, and it was all Leicester. And as we've said in terms of the possession was there, Leicester had most of the shots, and against the team that were in form. And it didn't look that way. Leicester really deserved that. And it's a massive win. And after 39 games where everyone's had level games, Leicester on top of the pile. So great way to finish the Easter weekend.
Yeah, no, I think just on the very back of that, I think you saw there the post-match celebrations. Long time, or too long, since we've heard that celebratory music there, pumping away, getting the fans going and finishing the day off in style as well. But you also saw David Wagner there, who's manager of a Norwich team, who've got an excellent record of late, but he was almost sort of
acceptant.
Yeah, acceptant. Yeah, exactly.
The better team
resigned to the fact that, hey, boys, well played.
Yeah.
You're a good side. And I think a lot of people have thought that about Leicester, even when they've got the better of them. You can see they're obviously one of the better teams in the league, but today they were somewhere close to being back in form. And like you say, he must be hugely disappointed, although they're still in the playoff position, Norwich. But yeah, he was acknowledging the fact that, well, that was a good. He won't be hammering his players today. He'll be like, okay, boys, we go again, because you won't beat many Leicester Cities on that form.
Yeah, and obviously, Jerry, the reaction from the Leicester City fans on social media very similar to the ones that were in the ground this afternoon. Jubilation, really, very, very happy with that. One of the replies, though, to the full-time tweet is just 7 more of those, please, lads. And that's got to be the plan, and that's probably what the players and the management and the group and everybody will be saying now. If they can replicate that form now until the end of the season.
Well, exactly. That is, something that will be said in the dressing room. We need to replicate that 7 more times. And if you do that, then, as Matt said, it should be good enough. Football's all about standards, isn't it? And consistency. You hear them words bandied about, but that is the true fact of the matter. You don't have to be world class or at the top of your game every game you play, but you have to set a standard and a level that you do not fall below, or you do not drop below. And today they set a good standard. Today was a good standard. It was fluent. It was composed. The tempo was good at times in the game, and there was real grit and determination as well in there. And that's, to get out of this league, that's exactly what you need. As I said, you don't have to be a world class performer every week. You just have to be on a level that's good enough to win your games and see you through. And today was exactly that.
Yeah, especially, Matty, from having to come from behind as well in the game.
Yeah, we forget about that. It seems a long time ago, and we're all enjoying the celebrations and that feel-good energy. But at one point, it was looking as if it could be one of those days. So that shows the character, the quality. But I felt throughout, especially when actually Leicester went behind, there was still that energy and sort of that will to go and make things happen, and then got back into it. It only looked like it was going to be one team. Yes, there wasn't loads of clear-cut chances, but it only looked like there was one team in the game, or one team who had that aspirations to go and win it. So again, massive credit. From the other day, sort of doom and gloom, and then turned it around quickly, and then that's a fantastic result and sets up nicely for the remaining home games. I know you've got to go away, but it's a really good win against, like I say, a formed team, a team that will probably make the playoffs. But Leicester, again, top of the pile now, and that belief, I think that's a big word in it, all that belief and confidence. It looked there. Yes, everything wasn't perfect, but it was a perfect result and some really good play and what Leicester needed. But just back from that belief, and when things didn't quite come off, it was the next one. And that seems to have reacted that way and got what they deserved. It was really good performance.
Yes, just the, second defeat in 11 games for Norwich. So fantastic performance from Leicester to go back top of the Championship. Still to come here on Matchday Live on Fox's Hub. Hopefully we'll get some reaction from pitchside. We'll also continue hearing from Matty, from Matt and from Jerry as well, so don't go anywhere.
Who wants to join me? Shopping at King Power. 3-day, 2-night stay booked. See ya.
To the rooftop bar.
To snap a photo for my IG.
To eat the famous pad thai.
The new collection is calling me.
Sure, there's a perfume I want. Let me ask my sis.
Yes, of course I'm going.
Leicester City, Fox never quit.
Let's go. It's possible because King Power is more than just duty-free. Shop latest trends in beauty and gadgets. Your coolest staycation. The legendary pad thai. Best street food in town. A place to support your team. A fancy dinner. Enjoy shopping at downtown stores and online. Or even the thrill of a new experience. Explore your everyday possibilities. The power of possibilities. King Power.
The new season's nearly here and the opinions are getting stronger.
We've got serious pulling power now.
What? To get the top 2 players now?
Aye?
It's like I've been saying, if he settles the squad, we'll be back on top.
Only this time we're going for the quadruple.
You are joking, aren't you?
The time for talk is nearly over.
With over £4 million in free bet giveaways and huge price boosts, kick off your season with Sky Bet. That's betting better.
You're built different. Breathing new life into broken. Taking matters into your own hands. Assembling big dreams from the small things. Never stopping until you find the right part at the right price. That's the eBay way.
Hello, football fans. This is a smart meter display. It helps you tackle energy usage, manage your spending, and keep you on target. Now that's a hat trick. Search Get a Smart Meter today.
The new season's nearly here and the opinions are getting stronger.
We've got serious pulling power now.
What? To get the top 2 players now?
Aye?
It's like I've been saying, if he settles the squad, we'll be back on top.
Only this time we're going for the quadruple.
You are joking, aren't you?
The time for talk is nearly over.
With over £4 million in free bet giveaways and huge price boosts, kick off your season with Sky Bet. That's betting better.
Welcome back to Matchday Live here on Fox's Hub with me, Dan Bates. Matty Fryatt and Matt Elliott are in the studio with me, and Jerry Taggart is still with us in the press box following Leicester City's 3-1 victory over Norwich this afternoon here at King Power Stadium, having come from behind as well. Jerry, just to sum it up for those who maybe have just joined us, after that short little break, it's been a really good afternoon for Enzo Maresca and his lads.
Yeah, I think it's, as we were talking about, the perfect response to the defeat where, at times I thought the play was a little bit nervy at times on Friday, but today, the players came out, and from minute one really, they looked composed, they had a good structure, they had fire in their belly, the tempo was good in the forward areas of the pitch. Fatawu and Mavididi causing all kinds of problems. So yeah, and as you say, coming from a goal behind as well, where they concede from a set piece, it didn't worry them. They didn't look worried. They looked as if, okay, all right, we've made a mistake there, but we'll get back into it, and that's exactly what they did with Dewsbury Hall, breaking the deadlock, and they just went from there. Second half, completely controlled it, barring one foray from the full-back Stacey. Leicester pretty much controlled the game from start to finish, you have to say. So, a really good performance, and obviously backed up by the result.
It was needed, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Having what happened on Friday, with the frustration of that, having those chances, not being able to take them, conceding relatively late on, that they've been able to, and then coming off top spot, obviously. Yeah. To then reply with that this afternoon was great.
Yeah, and if it ended up on level games, and still being in that third slot, and depending on how the games go later on today, etc., and all ifs and buts, but it's taken a bit of nervousness out of the situation, hasn't it? Regardless, a nice feeling, albeit possibly short term. Back in pole position again, albeit very narrowly. But once you got over the sort of the disappointment and the mini shock at the way that things have gone over the last few games, Matty mentioned it before the game, Leicester are still in the top position, or in the best position. It's in their hands, as you mentioned before. Now, they haven't got a massive firm grip on proceedings, but like they did have. But that's true what you say, and then to put in that sort of performance, I thought was really encouraging against a team like Norwich, for the reasons we mentioned, on a good run. Okay, not the best away from home, but they would. You got the feeling before the game that they would have fancied their chances, sort of licking their lips a little bit. A lot of supporters came down. They were very vocal. They take the lead, and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be a long, hard afternoon. And ultimately, Leicester made relatively light work of it, and I think that's a great sign going forward.
They did, on the fact of that you'd think they'd grow into the game with the form that they've been in. They take the lead, and there was only one team in it after that. Leicester got the equalise, and then especially second half, it was just dominance. It was just waiting, can Leicester get that goal? And it was an excellent goal to get it, and then it was just more of the same, just controlling it, keeping the ball, just making it move. Norwich just sort of sat in, and I think it was their acceptance of it that actually we're a little bit away from this Leicester team. We're not quite. We're content with probably getting a defeat, which before the start of the show or before the game, you go, it'd be great to go and get the win. And Leicester were the dominant team and deserved it from start to finish. And they had to respond not only from the Friday game, but from going a goal behind. So massive credit to them to turn it around, and sets it up nicely. And they should enjoy this moment, have it with the confidence. And yes, they've got to be consistent and hit them same levels again, but enjoy it and have that belief going into the game at the weekend.
Yeah, it was good on that point. I saw the reaction to conceding the goal. I saw Wilfred and Didi. He was actually trying to get the message across to his other player. Okay, boys, relax. Don't panic. Don't get yourself in a fluster.
It showed leadership a little bit.
Yeah, it did give a bit of that, a bit of a calming influence, but not just to say, okay, don't worry about it. Carry on as we are. I don't think he was saying that. I think he was just saying, don't get yourself in a muddle, but have a calm reaction to it. And I think you got that. I think you got that as well. Don't go away from what we've practiced all year round, but like I was saying before the game, perhaps with a little bit of increased
controlled urgency.
Controlled urgency. I forgot
that's what they
my
had.
wonderful term that I came up. But I mean, a bit of that.
But it was only 13 minutes between the Norwich goal and then the equaliser.
Yeah, but Leicester, like Matt says, it seems quite a long time ago they conceded that goal. But Leicester were playing okay at that stage. But there was a bit of purpose about them. It wasn't quite coming off because they're not absolutely bang on top of their game individually and as a group. They have to work themselves back into that. But the intent was there. You could see that. It didn't always come off. But all of a sudden, Norwich were not succumbing, but they weren't the force that you thought perhaps they were going to be, having taken the lead. And gradually, the longer the game went on, the stronger Leicester got. And that's a great feeling going forward. It's not like Leicester were terrible and they just produced a goal out of nothing, whatever. Again, they controlled the game, which they do the majority of the time, probably more than they thought they were going to overall. And being a fair distance away from their absolute best, they were still very convincing winners. And that sets them up well.
Yeah, one player, Jerry, who seemed like he was back to his best this afternoon, and he's very much been a catalyst all season for Leicester, was Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. He got that equaliser, he got the assist for the Steffi Mavididi goal to go 2-1 up. That was the type of performance that we've seen from Kiernan throughout pretty much the whole of this season.
Yeah, and again, you need your big players to step up to the mark, and invariably that's what he does. Yes, even on Friday, he's involved in a couple of goal-mouth situations, goal-scoring chances for Leicester, even though unfortunately they weren't taken. But he is a vital cog in this wheel, and he's a big player for Leicester City. And today he showed the reason why he's a big player and why Leicester need him to step up time and time again. And Didi stepped up. I thought he was fabulous, Wilfred Ndidi. It's tireless energy. Ricardo again coming back in, just settles the side. It just got that wealth of experience and knowledge of the game that just frees up players like Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall to go and do his thing, to go and get amongst it, to set himself free, go and express himself. So yeah, I mean, as I say, he's a key cog in the wheel at Leicester City. There's no doubt about that, and we're going to need everybody between now and the end of the season. There's no doubt about that.
Quite a comfortable choice, Jerry, for the player of the match today, I would say, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall.
Well, I didn't give it to him. I give it to Abdul Fatsawi, because I thought although his end ball at times was, but he was a constant thorn. He was an out ball. He was always an option for Leicester, and I just got excited watching him today. But yeah, no, obviously I did mention Kiernan and mention Steffi Mavididi as well. The two centre halves I thought looked pretty solid for the most part. So yeah, all round good performances, and again, that is what you need. They found a level today that hopefully they can continue until the end of the season.
Yeah, 57% of Leicester fans, they put the poll up on X, have said Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall.
Leave it, mate.
I'm just putting extra context in there.
Well, I was asked by John Dunn, the commentator, my opinion, and I give my opinion.
I respect that, Jerry.
And that's all that matters.
I respect that.
All right, if you want to start doing polls to the fans, that's fine. Don't ask me my opinion. All right.
Yeah, I totally respect your opinion, Jerry.
Thank
my
you.
opinion would be that
Move
Keenan
on.
Dewsbury Hall would have been the
Yeah,
player of the match,
well,
but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine. That's
but
good.
listen, joking aside, he has been, as Jerry rightly said, an integral cog throughout the season, and to see him getting back on the score sheet today with the assist, driving the team forward, that's what Leicester need now in these final 7 games.
Yeah, he's a player that, in a team of very good players, in a squad of very good players, you think the others sort of look to him for inspiration a little bit. I know they've got individuals, 2 wide boys in particular, who can produce something out of nothing a little bit, and obviously a whole host of centre forwards there that can hopefully finish off the hard work before it. But to me, he's the most reliable player, all round as well. The qualities he's got, and he's consistent as well with his production, isn't he? His impact, whether it be assists, goals, or just his general play. When he dips a little bit below it,
I think the team
is a bit of
suffer
a
with
miss,
that,
isn't
don't
it?
they? When he drops slightly below than the others, because he takes responsibility.
Yeah.
He doesn't always quite get it right on the ball, but he's always looking to get behind. He's always wanting to get on it. He's always trying to make something happen. He gets himself into the box, gets the equaliser, and then does really well for the second one. And he's in double figures on both. What more would you want from a centre midfielder? Driving, I know it's more as a 10, but he can do both. He's back and forward. And when he's on it, everyone's lifted by it. And even if he isn't quite on his game, he always puts the energy in there, the effort, the determination. And when you do that, you get your just rewards, and you see it today. Goal, assist, and same for Mavididi. He played a big part in the first goal, and then the second one, I've even touched on that. It was just outrageous bit of skill in the finish to sort of separate the teams, and that's the quality you need as well on top of it. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Dewsbury as well, as you said there, even when he's not playing his best, he's still the player that you look to. You're thinking, oh, this time it's gonna click, or he's gonna finish that. And sometimes it doesn't. No, not at all. But when it doesn't, there's some players that you don't expect them to finish it off, or to produce that pass, the killer pass, or make that contribution, which is what you do. And that's a sign of, how good a player he's rated, really. And also, he wants to go that extra yard. It's him. I know it's part of his role and his job, but it's him who gets in the box to get extra bodies forward, to help Daka out, more so than Ndidi, although Ndidi does it to a level, sometimes both of them. They have to create that little bit of an overload. It's him, he was willing to sort of persevere and persist with getting himself in the box, which is why he got the goal. And from that moment on, there was only one winner pretty much, wasn't there? And again, he contributed throughout. And when he got him, and indeed, we said it earlier in the season, in full flow, at full fitness, opposition midfielders can't stay with them for 90 plus minutes.
Yeah.
They grind them down. And there was an element of that today.
Yeah, speaking of the supporters, Jerry, and on social media, and there's a lot of love actually for the Callum Doyle performance this afternoon as well. He absolutely deserves a mention.
Yeah, fantastic as well for him. I could go through everybody and say, quality, what you expect to see. Callum Doyle again. I mean, and this is, nothing, no disrespect to James Just, but what Callum Doyle gives you is that his first thought is to look forward, and he's got that left peg that he can supply good, firm, solid passes in the right areas or 2 feet at any given time. He's also got that crossfield pass we've seen umpteen times today to Fatawu. So yeah, I mean, whereas James Justin, I think sometimes he errs on the side of caution. Callum Doyle will get his head up and go right, bang, have that, a nice firm solid pass in the feet or into the space in behind. And that one pass gets Leicester on the front foot in the opposition half. I know, and getting out the back line just for one pass. And he looks solid as well, doesn't he, defensively? All right, okay, doesn't have the pace of a James Justin, but he's got that height, that presence. He's big physical size as well, so he can use that strength that he has in the challenges. He's not afraid to go in and put his foot in where it hurts. So yeah, it was a really big performance for him. He had a great game. His passing was excellent today.
Right, we'll let Matty Fright have the final say of the afternoon after a fantastic victory, really, for Leicester. That they needed it. We've all established that. The celebrations you can see even on the picture behind from Jamie Vardy, that there was a huge amount of relief in that. There was a lot of celebrations. I'm sure it'll be out on LCFC.com a little bit later. But when that Vardy goal goes in, the celebrations are brilliant from the bench as well as the supporters, and you can see why and you understand why.
Yeah, especially with everything that's gone on, and there have been doubts, and especially from where it's been to now it is. But again, as we said, 39 games gone. If the table ended now, Leicester would be top, and it was such a good response, especially from the other day, going a goal behind, and they dominated from start to finish. And that one to cap it off at the end was a great touch and great response, great win, and sets them up nicely for a big game at the week. Another big game at the weekend, but I think fabulous response and great win, much needed as well.
Yeah, I think they all might be pretty big between now and the end of the season, those final 7 games. And it all starts, of course, on Saturday. 5 days' time, we'll be back here at King Power Stadium again for a 3 o'clock kickoff, which will be one of the final ones of those of the season, certainly the last home game at 3 on a Saturday. So do join us from 2 p.m. We'll be live for that on Matchday Live. That'll be followed by Extra Time, which will make its long-awaited return after a couple of weeks away. Matchday Live then again the day after that for the trip to Millwall. Hopefully we'll be seeing another 6 points from those 2 games. And finally, there's a podcast available for you whenever you want to go and listen to it. Muzzy Is It in conversation with Jerry Taggart and Matt Elliott. You can also watch that as well on Fox's Hub or on YouTube. Big thank you to Matty Fright, to Matt Elliott, for Jerry Taggart, who we always respect his opinions, of course, on this show on Fox's Hub. And thank you to the supporters as well today for being absolutely fantastic on a day that Leicester City go back top of the Championship. Enjoy the rest of your Easter Monday. Goodbye.